Welcome back to our Journey Towards Freedom series, and last time we defined what is a freedom, the definition of it, and our current condition of the human beings, which is enslavement. So let's continue this topic for a little bit, and let's play a little foreseeing game. So imagine that the next day you are free. There is no control, nothing, there is no government, there is no one that will look over you, govern you, enslave, or control anything you do. Any action you want to do, you will be performed able. You are a free man. You are able to do anything you like. Well, taking today's people, what do you think will be the outcome of this? Will it be an order? Or do you expect it more to be a chaos? People will start behaving like animals, fighting for any resources that we have on our planet. I believe that if we just wake up and make people with the current condition they are in, just give them freedom, it will end in chaos. People will just try to find for scarcity of resources. They will still believe there are scarcity of resources and try to fight for it. Eat or be eaten. That will be the main thing they will be following. Yeah, that's what people think. That's what most of us are being taught in the school, that only thanks to the government, the laws, human laws, to the police and army, we are civilized and we are able to just function in a society. Without this, we would be just behaving like animals, fighting with each other. Yeah, you would come to a neighbor who say, "Hello, hi neighbor, how are you?" No, you would just smash his head because I know you want his resources. That's what it is. And that's what the freedom is all about. Being able to just go on trying to smashing people you don't agree with, you don't like, just because trying to steal somebody's resources. Are there any boundaries to the freedom? You can think, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe there is some kind of the boundary to my freedom. Maybe there is an end somewhere and my freedom ends somewhere. Well, actually, there is the law, actual law that governs freedom. It is called morality. Yeah. So, what is morality? Well, in the short and the most simple answer, it's ability to distinguish the right from wrong. But yeah, that's what they tell us. That's usually what they tell us in a religion. So we go in, and in the old religion, they present it that we have followed these rules. Those are our law. Do not this, do that. You are obliged. You should do this, but they are all being subjective, based on some kind of the holy book. They are not based in nature or in any reality. And everybody can create a new religion, come up with their own set of moral rules, and that its followers should just be bound by them, which is not true. The true morality, the real one, is inside us. We know inherently, for example, that killing is wrong. Most of us, majority of people, feel it inside. We don't need any written law, anyone else to tell us that this is immoral, this is wrong. We just feel it. Some of people, even when they encounter their first killing or murder, they vomit. This is the reaction of the organism for something wrong. That you shouldn't be doing this if you initiate it. Take a look at on the religion. For example, taking Middle East, their religion. There, it is moral there for a woman to be stoned. If she disobeys her husband publicly, she can be stoned. If she forgets to cover her part of her body, this is morality? This is what is moral? That you restrict a person, doesn't matter if it's man, woman, male, female, child, from doing whatever they want with their own body. This is not moral. This is subjective point of view, and they tell it it's moral, and then we are in the West are immoral beings because we know, because what? Because our ladies wear, I don't know, short skirts, they show arms and the face and their hair. That's immoral thing to do? I would highly disagree. So morality is actually objective. It's not subjective thing. The subjectiveness of morality is what is taught today. This is the current condition of the human understanding of morality, that is subjective. And this is the cause of many problems we have in our today's societies. Based on this And anyone can come up with their own new morality, because there is nothing based in nature, in truth. Yeah, morality is based in truth. There's only one truth, and it's objective. Same as morality. You can't have two truths about an event that happened in the past. Yeah, you can argue about something, but there's no way the event that occurred is already a past can be true from two different points of view. Same with the, physical laws. The law of gravity. You cannot have two definitions of it. You have only one objective definition, and it's always working. But so far we understand how gravity works. There's no doubt about it. You can ignore it, but you will find the consequences of this. You can disagree that morality is not objective. Nevertheless, you will meet the consequences of this behavior, of your actions. So, can we distinguish actually what is right and what is wrong? How we can go and apply this? Well, can we easily find out which actions I can morally take and which actions are immoral for me to perform? That's what natural law helps with. Oh, what is a natural law, you may ask? I will present a definition, working definition that was defined by Mike Passio in one of his presentations about natural law. I actually highly suggest you guys watch this whole presentation. I will link this in the description of the video. Make sure to check this out. So, what is a natural law? It's a universal, non-man-made, binding and immutable conditions that govern the consequences of our behavior. This is the difference between human law and natural law. Human law can be altered, can be changed. Real one is immutable. It cannot be changed. It is non-man-made. No man can alter or change or define different natural law that governs our behavior. It's universal. It works everywhere. Wherever you go, in different country, even different planet, the natural law and the law of morality will still be working the same. Doesn't matter what your current religion is here, what the government is, the natural law is always working. It's above everything else. For example, let's talk about the marijuana for a bit. Smoking pot in Poland is illegal. You cannot do it if you just, the police find you with any amount of this substance, you will be prosecuted and maybe probably going to jail. While in the Netherlands, for example, not that far away from Poland, it's completely legal. You can go into the capital of Netherlands, Amsterdam, and you can just go into the coffee shop, buy a joint, smoke it in the restaurant, or just bring it home and smoke it in the home. You can legally do it. There's no consequences for you. So, let's say in Poland, you were today caught having a joint with you. Now you are sentenced to jail for, 1 year. Now, let's say tomorrow this law is changed. The government decided that they will change the law that now having up to few joints with you is completely legal and it's no longer a wrongdoing. Well, what about you? You are already in jail. You are already in jail, even though the human law has been changed. It can be even reversed. Today you can be walking freely with a joint, and tomorrow it may be a crime, and you may end up in a jail for possessing it because the news didn't reach you that the law changed, and now you are not permitted to have any joint with you anymore. And this is what people call, this is the order. Without this, without government and these changing laws, the human laws, we would be in the chaos. Yeah, right. We are in the chaos. And our rulers can change anything they want, whenever they feel like. So morality is bound by this natural law. The other names for this are also the law of cause and consequences, the law of attraction, the karma rule, or the golden rule. And basically, just morality is to do not harm and not steal from others. Do not initiate any kind of violence, right? Initiating violence is immoral. What other thing is initiating violence if not stealing of someone's good health? You have a right to be in a good shape, in a good health. And if someone is trying to initiate violence on you, he's trying to steal your good health, right? So, morality is measurable. You can measure it. If it's something is right, wrong, how it is applied across the globe, it is discoverable. We as a human being can discover what is the right behavior, what is the wrong behavior. Does it initiate harm or does it not initiate harm? If it initiates harm, then it's immoral. If it do not initiate harm, then it's moral and you can perform this action. We can evaluate if it's right or wrong. That's our capacity. Yeah. So taking this knowledge, ask yourselves, is smoking pot moral or not? Does it initiate harm or not? Well, I hope you get the answer right, correct? Because just smoking pot is not immoral. You do not initiate any harm. You do not do any harm to anyone being around you just because you smoke some pot. But no. Morality is not objective. It's subjective, right? Given based on the different holy books, I can let's create a new religion, new holy book, and I will write that killing anyone that is infidel is moral. Yeah, and now we have our book, okay, and now it's moral to kill others, kill infidels, right? No, wrong again. Just because I wrote it some kind of the book doesn't make it more moral than it was. It cannot change. It's immutable. It works. It always works. Whether you believe it or not, it always works. That's the previous example of gravity. You can ignore it. You can ignore gravity, but it will be still working. You can just go on, climb a mountain, and fall down and jump. Will you fly? Or will you just fall into the ground? It always works. You don't have to believe it, but it will be still working. If the gravity was fluctuating, the law will be changing, there will be no planes, there will be no rockets, we will never reach the moon. We can do it because it's constant. The law of gravity is constant. It's immutable. So if it's so obvious, why so many people do not understand this concept? Because this is barely taught by anyone. No, not parents, no school, barely anyone teaches about morality. We, as a human being, have a capacity to understand this, to understand the morality, but if it's not taught by someone else, if we do not learn this, how can we achieve this? It's the same with, for example, taking push-ups. No one starts with the perfect form and the ability to do many push-ups in one set. You have to start your progression working. You have to understand the movement, how it works, how you should set your body, your arms should be there, that, and then you make your progression, starting from knees. Then you go to the full push-up. Maybe then go into jumping push-up, dynamic one, triangles, doesn't matter, diamond push-ups. You can do whatever variation, but still, you have to start somewhere and you have to learn. You can be taught. You can understand it yourself. It will probably may take a little bit longer. And you can go and learn from others. There are examples in the internet, but you have to go yourself and be taught. Right now, the government, our rulers, do not want us to understand morality. What is moral and what is not. Because if we understand it, then how could we agree to our current condition, being a slave? It's against morality. What sane person that understands morality would ever agree to any kind of government? Someone is controlling and governing over him. It's ridiculous. So, this is the boundary of the freedom, our morality. The law of consequences. So the action you do, you receive the consequences from this. And from this you can extrapolate a little bit more. So the greater immorality is, the greater the control. So when morality increases, freedom increases. That's the correlation between freedom and morality. Yeah? Applying the golden rule, to not treating others in a way that you would not like to be treated, that's the way for us to go on and move on the path to the freedom. You cannot give freedom. For example, let's imagine that tomorrow I am a president of the United States, right? I kicked Donald Trump out of his office. We are sparring a little bit, and I won in a fair and square fight. Now I go on and tell that the whole world is gonna be free. There is no more longer the government, and you are free people. You cannot do it. You cannot give freedom. That's what government tries to lie to you, that they can give and take away your freedom. No. Freedom is a consequence of our aggregate actions. the more actions we perform that are moral, then the overall morality and freedom increases. But if in our algorithm, if the more actions or doing we perform are immoral, then we will have less and less freedom, and we will end more enslaved, under more control. Now I would like to present a quote from Thomas Aquinas. So, the true liberty is an essential property of objective truth and morality. Therefore, there can be no true liberty in a civilization that enshrines moral relativity. Yeah, so even Thomas Aquinas understood that morality is objective. It's not relative. It's not relative. In that, and objective morality and our action, we follow the morality, that leads to the order. That leads to the order. So, attaining freedom is only possible through increasing our morality. In that will end in the order in the world, not chaos, but in the order. I hope you found this video entertaining and you learned something new. We'll continue these topics in the further videos. And for now, that's all. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Adek from studentoffreedom.com, and see you next time. Bye.